got given a girl deck by my neighbour across the road. I was walking home from school, which I just started in year 7. It was like the first week or so, and he walked home with me once and gave me the full setup, like the board, the trucks and the wheels and stuff, and yeah, we skated in my drive for like 3 weeks straight. And then I ventured out to the skate park and yeah, kind of took off from there. Aishan Ware is my favourite skater because he's just sick. I mean, yeah, I've watched the documentary before and I've changed my mind. He's now my favourite person. England's alright. Yeah, you've got London and all the big cities, and some massive indoor parks everywhere. So it could be better, but it's decent. It's alright to skate. The weather could be kinda, but Lancaster is shit. It's shit. Yeah, it's not great. Yeah, there's two local skate parks. They're okay. I mean, they're nothing special. It's just a little city. It's a bit rough on the foot. But I went to Berlin last half term and they put like metal covers on the side of like concrete benches and stuff like that. So that, yeah, we destroy it because we get like wears away and stuff. But I mean, the council doesn't exactly do anything to prevent us wearing it away. So I'm gonna carry on doing it until they do. They put skate stoppers instead of metal. I reckon public only gets pissed off with skaters if they're pissed off to do something like at work or something. Because if they're angry, they'll just take it out on you, I guess. If you get in their way. I don't get in anyone's way when I'm skating. So, no, I don't piss them off, they're just angry. I think there's a general stereotype, like, fixed to skater of like drugs and antisocial behaviour, but to be honest, it gets you out of that because you focus more on the skating and it gets you like creative and like thinking about what the next trick is in the line and how to set it up and where you're going to go. So it takes you away from that. Yeah, I reckon you can express your creativity through skating because when you go out and you look at the surroundings and your environment with a different perspective because you wanna skate it, so you're gonna have a different view on different view of the stair set or the rail or like the height of a curb. Yeah.
My name is Daniel Heary and my area of expertise is around town planning and particularly surveillance of public spaces using CCTV systems. I don't think I have been confronted by a skateboarder. You know, when I was doing snowboarding, I used to be friends with some skateboarders. They tended to be really good at snowboarding, so we'd go down the mountains together and they'd be trying different things, jumps, tricks, which I tried to follow on, copy. But I've never been in a situation where a skateboarder's come up to me or I felt uncomfortable with a skateboarder. I don't think skateboarding encourages that antisocial behaviour, but I think people could perceive that it encourages antisocial behaviour because it's about groups of teenagers, young people gathering around skate parks or maybe other public spaces, and I think it's quite easy to get a perception that they're a problem there, that people coming together. It may lead to knock-on effects with other things, maybe drug taking or petty crime or vandalism. But if you look now, particularly in London, you see lots of guys, middle-aged guys who are going out on skateboards as well. So I don't think it's so much an age thing anymore. It's the sport has grown to embrace some of those older age groups as well, and you wouldn't really see them as being causes of petty crime or vandalism. Some of them probably earn quite a lot of money in their day jobs. The sport came up from the streets, people practicing different places, particularly in America. They'd use public buildings, they'd use bits of street furniture to practice their skills, and it was great that skate parks came along after that, specially designed areas. But I don't think you can really take the sport away from the streets, because that's where a lot of the innovation comes up from. People seeing new buildings, new public spaces that have been put up. How can they do tricks there? How can they use that urban fabric to develop their skills and develop the sport? Yeah, so one of the interesting things that's come to light over the last 15-20 years is how public spaces have been co-opted into private spaces. And to give you an example, the Liverpool One shopping centre was owned by the Duke of Westminster, his company Grosvenor Estates, and they've taken over streets in Liverpool which were previously owned by the council, and they're now managed as part of a large shopping centre. There's CCTV surveillance in there, there's security guards patrolling that area. And on one level it's creating a nice environment for shoppers, but on another level it makes it a very controlled space, and things that you could maybe do when the road was publicly owned, like skateboarding or cycling, are banned by local bylaws, and they're controlled by that by Grosvenor Estates. It's fairly innocuous. You don't really notice it if you go there to shop, but it's more a creeping movement which we're seeing more and more now in city centres, where previously you could go there and do things like maybe busk or go on a skateboard, or I suppose at the other end of the spectrum people are begging, and those things are tending to be pushed out of city centres now by the privatisation of the space, and also the surveillance by CCTV which is used to enforce that. So I suppose it's the sad thing is that it's taken some of the vibrancy out of city centres, because where once people would go in and experiment and do things, they don't have the same freedom to do that anymore, and those spaces are far more controlled than they used to be. It's quite a subtle thing, but you will notice it more, and I imagine it affects skateboarders as well, in if not Lancaster then certainly other cities, where they're finding places that they maybe used to go, they're not allowed to go there anymore, and that's backed up with laws and enforced using CCTV and greater security as well.
Right, I'm Simon Chapman. I'm a local school teacher and a jungle explorer in my spare time. I started skateboarding when I was about 12, did some skateboarding then till about 14, 15, and then bought some really decent boards when I was about 15, 16, 17. And then when I got a pay rise early in my teaching career, I rediscovered skateboarding. Now I've got a long board, normal board, and also a mountain board. Now skateboarders are generally very nice and chilled people from my experience, not only as a member of public but also as a teacher of kids that are skateboarders. I do see that there is confrontation with lots of people. Maybe when they see skaters around public squares and things, they feel threatened, mainly because most skaters are teenage lads, and teenage lads are big, and there's a certain negative stereotype about those people. I don't think skateboarding causes damage to buildings, except for I could imagine that axle grinding, possibly along stone steps, might do. So I could imagine that could be a matter of contention or friction with people. My experience at the moment is mainly mountain biking, and though it's great to go mountain biking on specific mountain bike routes, I like mountain biking here, there and everywhere. It's the same with skateboarding. When I used to board, I used to do slalom down streets and paths. So I used to do park riding as well, but also city squares and that sort of thing. I mean, I like the variety. So yeah, I think there should be more provision for skateboard parks, but I don't think there should be people should be so anti groups of people skateboarding just in the open in urban spaces. The only two places I know in the local area is the skate park at Halton, and there's a skate park type thing in the lower end of Lancaster, which seems to be used more by BMX riders and scooter riders. I think that's probably enough provision round here. You could probably do with that, the one in Lancaster City either being enlarged or maybe upgraded a little bit. It just seems to be a little bit run down at the moment.
My favourite skate park is probably from Supreme's Cherry video. It was Dylan Reeder's part. It was all filmed in black and white, like Bill Stroberg was filming it. And in his part it's like just gnarly, like massive frontside flips and like his tray flips and like 3 shoves. Like his flip like wraps around his front foot all the time. It's just gnarly. And Dylan Reeder's style's like awesome, like tucked in shirts and shit. So I've been skating for properly skating since year 10, I'd say. So year 10, that's about 3 years. First deck was a almost deck, Chris Haslam's Pro model. It was like 7.75. It's tiny. Yeah. My favourite skate brand's Palace. Like they just do some cool stuff. Like they film all their skateboard parts in VHS videos, and some of the team members like DJs and artists, and yeah, they do other things like outside of skateboarding and bring it into skateboarding, which is pretty cool. So they get pretty creative. We have fun skating, and then like you see old people sometimes thinking like you're getting in the way. And like I was skating in Dalton Square once, trying to do that 5 set, and we were filming it, and some old guy went up to us like, "Oh yeah, it's really impressive what you're doing, but it's against the law, and you shouldn't be doing that." And we were just having fun, and we weren't actually doing anything wrong. But yeah, you can see how old people don't really see eye to eye with what we're trying to do, because we're not trying to cause trouble or anything. I'd say we're doing something a bit more creative and quite fun. But yeah, some people don't see it as that. England skateboarding, I'd say like all the architecture in England's not as smooth as you'd get in America, like seeing all the parts in America. And around Lancaster, street spots are pretty rough and hard to skate, but we've got like 2 decent parks near us, so that like compensates for that. For me, the good thing about skating is like gets you to meet loads of other people who are interesting in themselves, and it's exposed me to things like photography and what that got me into, like other things like art. Like loads of people do other sports like rugby, football, whilst me and my mates just went out and skated instead. It's something a bit different, like meet different people with doing different things out of the norm. It's pretty nice. Yeah, when we skate street spots, we don't actually mean to destroy things. I reckon we go out of our way not to vandalise stuff. Most of the things we skate won't really be affected in terms of whether it ruins the landscape or ruins that handrail or whatever, because at the end of the day it can still be used. I don't think skateboarding encourages antisocial behaviour, because it does expose you to like people who do creative things. Like people who skate usually film and photograph stuff, and that's like a creative process, and that leads to other things like art and just other interesting things. So I don't think it encourages antisocial behaviour in that sense, but you do get some people who sort of grow up in rough areas with like little opportunity, who just go to skate park and don't do anything. They're not actually skating, they annoy the public. So I guess in that respect, it's those people who encourage antisocial behaviour. not the skaters. So Pablo.